So welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I put it up on my Instagram story probably like 3 or 4 days ago, and I was going to do it as my first video, but I kind of just wanted to introduce myself and stuff before I just chucked up a Q&A. But I do have the questions now. So the first question I got was, how do you stay motivated? So personally, I also got inboxed a question like this as well, and it was kind of just asking me, like, when I first started the gym, how I stayed motivated to go and actually like work out. And for me, because I was so overweight, that in itself was making me so unhappy and so upset that going to the gym honestly couldn't make me feel any worse. So yeah, for me, it was kind of like going to the gym and being in that kind of environment, there was no possible way that I could feel any worse. So yeah, honestly, once I got in that mindset of going to the gym would only be helping me, that's honestly how I stay motivated. And then obviously now I love the gym, and for me, what motivates me the most is results. When I see my body changing and I see the results that I want to get through the gym kind of happening, then yeah, that really motivates me to keep going. And even on the days where I don't really feel like training, I often kind of just like look at back at pictures and like how far I've come, and that really like motivates me to go. Also good music, that really motivates me to go to the gym as well. But yeah, so now for me, it isn't a chore anymore. The only time I really need that motivation is on days where I don't really feel like going, and it's completely okay to have a rest day if you really don't feel like going. Oftentimes I feel like when you do get those days where you just couldn't think of anything worse than driving and going to the gym, and you're just not mentally in the right headspace, then I feel like it is completely fine to have a rest day. Sometimes that is your body just telling you it's not a good day for the gym. The next thing I got was, what is your end goal? I've changed my mind on this a lot of times. At the start, it was just to lose weight and get down to where I'm at now. My body really fluctuates with weight. Not a lot, but it does differ a couple of kilos depending what I've been eating, how much water I've been drinking. So usually I average at about 60.5, but that can go up anywhere to 63. So my body I don't really like to go by the scales all the time, just because I feel like your body isn't perfect. You're gonna fluctuate. You're gonna have days where, there's days where I go to the gym, jump on the scales, and I might be at 63, and I'll really overthink that and think that I've put on weight, and then the next day I could go and I will be 61.5. So it honestly just depends, preference to yourself. But yeah, my end goal is to compete. I'm actually really thinking about competing next year. So as I'm still quite young, I kind of want to really think about it before I decide if I want to do it or not. It is quite an expensive thing to do. So yeah, I definitely want to think about it and really decide yes or no. I don't really want to go, yeah, I want to do it, and then kind of change my mind, because I am so passionate about it. It's something that I want to put 110% into. A lot of people have told me to do it, so I definitely think that I have the potential. It's just, yeah, obviously deciding if that's something that I 100% want to do. But that is my end goal, somewhere along the line, whether it be next year or the year after or the year after that. I do want to step on the stage and kind of see how far I can take things with the gym and fitness. It's definitely something that I've been told you mentally have to prepare for. So again, I want to make sure that, yeah, I'm definitely doing it the best I can. But yeah, that is the end goal, is to, with the fitness side of things, is to, yeah, hopefully step on the stage and see what I can do. Next one was, when you go away on holiday, do you still work out? In the last couple of years, I haven't really been on holiday much, just because obviously, like, I was still at school and working heaps and with uni. So yes, I guess I haven't really been into fitness that much when I was younger with traveling. But personally, I have been like away for a couple of days or whatnot, and yes, I do train. Obviously, if I don't have the facilities like a gym or something, then, you know, even just like doing a bit of cardio or like getting out and going for a walk or something. And that's not even just for the physical side of things, that's just mentally. Like, I love exercising and I love doing something to do with fitness. So for me, yeah, like earlier on in the year I went down to Melbourne, and obviously in Melbourne there's heaps of gyms and stuff, so yeah, I pretty much trained every day. I love it. I love seeing all the different equipment and like the different gyms and different environments. So yeah, when I go away I tend to, yeah, still try to work out or do some form of exercise, but it just depends. Some people go away and just want to completely relax and not do any of that, and that is completely fine. How long have you been going to the gym for? So I did mention this in my last video. So it's been 2 years that I would say, yeah, I've been learning about the gym and being in that kind of environment. I would say it's only been the last year that I've really learnt and put into play like weights and really knowing what I'm doing. The year prior to that was more just learning how to eat properly and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'd say only the last 10 months to a year is when I've really started to properly go to the gym and stuff. So, but yeah, 2 years in total of actually getting into it and stuff like that. What's your favorite activewear brand? This is a funny one because a lot of people, when I get asked this, expect me to say like Gymshark or like Muscle Nation or like anything like that. My favorite activewear brand's Lorna Jane. I love their stuff. Like, wearing their tights right now, I love them. Like, I live in their clothing brand. I think that they are portrayed as a older women's clothing brand for fitness, but I love them. Like, the quality is amazing. It is a little bit expensive, but honestly I would rather pay a little bit more and get more out of the product than waste my money on something that is pretty much the same price and not as good quality. Don't get me wrong, I do have Gymshark, I do have a couple of other brands, but yeah, personally I just live in Lorna Jane. Cotton On Body as well, I actually have a lot of their tights and sports bras, and yeah, for a brand that is a little bit more affordable, does the job. I love it and always get compliments on like how good they look and stuff. So both of those brands, Lorna Jane and Cotton On Body, are probably my go-tos. But as I say, I do wear like Gymshark and stuff sometimes. So what does your current week of training look like? So this is a good question. I change all the time. So a lot of people are set in their training ways and a week for them kind of looks the same all the time. For me, I change all the time. So I might for example, train legs on Friday, and then I might have a really busy weekend and I might not be able to get to the gym on Saturday and Sunday, and then on the Monday I might train legs again. Like, it honestly just depends how I'm feeling. Obviously I do have a set kind of routine, so I try and train every single muscle group once a week, but yeah, some days it could be like legs, shoulders, arms, back, or like the next week it could be back and buys. Like, it just depends how I feel. Like the other week I hurt my shoulder and I couldn't train shoulders or arms for like 4 days, so I did a couple of different leg days doing different things, some cardio. Like, it honestly just depends. Like, I listen to my body. I don't really like to train a muscle if it's still sore or a little bit sorer than usual, or so yeah, it just depends, and that really works for me. A lot of people are very set in like they might do push-pull legs, like it just depends entirely on you. That is just what I do. I personally just kind of go with the flow. Some days I might train legs and then be driving to the gym and be like, you know what, I feel like training legs again today, and I will. So, and to a lot of people that's probably wrong, but that's just what I do. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out? Yeah, good question. I would just say ask a lot of people like for advice. So I wish this is something that I kind of would have had access to back then, but honestly just reaching out to people on social media has helped me so much. Watching YouTube videos, everything, and kind of just, yeah, like doing a lot of research. I love to, if I'm not sure about something, like Google is my best friend. Like, it's not always 100% accurate. So just, yeah, obviously, you know, it's common sense if you're reading something that you don't think sounds right. Like, ask people what their opinion is, ask people how they do things. Yeah, just look it up on social media. Like, you know, Instagram's a great way to kind of learn things and read things. Yeah, I guess just don't be afraid to reach out and ask people questions. I used to always struggle with this. I would feel like, you know, I was bothering someone if I asked them the right way of doing something or for advice. And honestly, yeah, if I regret one thing, it's not asking enough. So yeah, definitely just take things slow. You don't have to be a WBFF pro bikini diva like straight away. It takes time. Everything takes time. You know, there's going to be days where you might have worked so hard and then you feel like none of it's kind of showing off. So yeah, like be patient. Don't be afraid to ask people questions, and, you know, don't be afraid to research things and read and learn. Also, just learn to love it. Like, I know that sounds quite weird, but I feel like in life, when you love something and are passionate about something, or genuinely just enjoy it, like, it does, without you realizing, make the process so much better. And that's like, for me, I genuinely love the gym, so it makes it so much nicer for me to go and be patient with myself, and I feel like that's helped me out a lot. Favorite thing to train? This changes often. Look, I'm gonna say legs, booty. I love leg day. Like, I live for leg day. I don't know why, because I have problems with my knees. You know what, that probably is why, is because I have problems with my knees. I tend to have to work around them more and therefore learn a lot more than any other muscle in my body. So yeah, leg day. It changes though. Sometimes all I want to do is train back. But yeah, I think leg day, there's just a lot of things you can do on leg day. Probably leg day. I do like a good leg day. So any tips on how to get back into it all? Sucks to see how unfit / far backwards you've become. So yeah, any tips to get back into it? I definitely gone through weeks where I haven't trained, and although I sit here and say that I love the gym and there's nothing else that I would want to do, yeah, I feel like it's very easy as a normal person to get into a bad routine. So I go through weeks where I may get sick, or I may get injured, or I simply may just not want to go to the gym, like I was saying before. And on that day, I might be a bit lazy, I might stay in the house, or I might just be exhausted. And then the next day, I kind of go, I'll go tomorrow. And that for me is my biggest weakness, is like, a lot of my problems when I was overweight was because I would just be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And that like really used to be a habit of mine. You know, we're not perfect. It still happens to me now. Yeah, probably with that question, biggest tip to get back into it all is just don't make excuses. So when I have those weeks where I am really slack with training, slack with eating, if you're, you know, like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym, just force yourself to get up, put some clothes on, put on a good song, and just like get out the door. And that does kind of like go against what I was saying earlier about listening to your body. But when I say listen to your body, if you're genuinely not feeling like very well, or you have an injury, don't force yourself to go to the gym. But if you're just being lazy or you can't be bothered, just don't make excuses. Just get up, go. Guaranteed you'll feel better when you get there anyway. And then that initial step of going will get you back into the swing of things, because yeah, that honestly is the biggest regret of mine, constantly making excuses. Like, it's better to just go, get it done with. And also just kind of knowing that you have time. I always rush to get things done, and like I want to see progress straight away, and I feel like that's where being patient is a bit of advice I give, is that I'm not very patient with my progress, and I like to see things kind of done immediately. And I've had to learn that with the gym it isn't like that, it's the complete opposite. So yeah, getting back into it all is just, yeah, don't make excuses, and you know, it's gonna need patience. They were some of the questions I got. Good little Q&A to end the week. But yeah, I'm gonna try and film maybe a day in the life or just something like that. But yeah, so, but I will post stuff up on my story and figure that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.